Okay, we should be on air.
All right, I'd like to go ahead and call this meeting to order for the Board of Makelab Charleston for Tuesday, November 2nd. First thing we need to do is approve the minutes of the previous meeting. Is there any opposition? All right, hearing none. We need to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting. Is anyone opposed? All right. Then we will proceed with reports from officers and committees. Mr. Treasurer, please.
All right. Right now we have effectively around 29 members. We have one member that is having problems with their PayPal account. They're trying to get that resolved. So right now our effective monthly income from dues is $979.85. Net loss is $2,047.50. Bank balance in savings, we have $100. Checking, we currently have $2,504.51. That will help us pay for the lease the month, thanks to some donations. Next bill coming up is the electric bill. It's down significantly this month. It's $370.53. It's due on the 7th, and by the 5th, we'll have enough PayPal dues to pay for that bill. We have a few other bills to look at later on in the month. One is insurance, and the other one is our meetup subscription, which we pay every 6 months. It's I think it's around $80. So we'll look at getting that paid, and we won't have to worry about that until May or June of 2017. And that's pretty much what I have for financials.
All right. Do we have anything for membership committee?
Who's your membership committee?
Well, we've had it on the membership committee used
Currently
to.
unpopulated.
Yeah, I believe it's unpopulated right now, but it's something we've always had on our agenda.
Yeah. Our membership is slowly growing up, growing. You know, we need to get it, light a fire under it, but you know, compared to where we were back in January, it's a lot better.
What's our current membership number?
We're around 30 right now, actually 29 with the one PayPal issue.
And in that, you're counting Lori as delinquent. That's not a member. Okay.
All right. Do we have any additional committee or team reports?
The only thing that we would have would be our meeting with the school factory. And Stephen has minutes from that.
All right. Stephen, do you want to go ahead and give those, give an overview of those minutes?
Sure. So last Wednesday we met with Diana from School Factory, and so did my best to kind of capture some of the bullet points of that. One of the main kind of takeaways is that they want to make sure that we're working with like an accountant every year, just to make sure that we're staying in compliance with state laws. There's kind of like a muddy area as to whether or not we're allowed to like stay within their network long term. Like the IRS says no, that we should be trying to get 501c3 or not, or just not staying in the School Factory network. But the lawyers that they've been talking to say that it's okay. But that if we choose to stay in the network long term, that we should not file a Form 990.
Correct. In fact, we tried last year and they rejected it.
So Diana did mention that there's a new form that recently came out within like the past year or two for doing the 501c3 application, and that supposedly it's cheaper with a quicker turnaround. And she also said that we can apply after the deadline that we missed and ask if it can be backdated. I mean, there's no guarantee that they'll approve it, but it's worth asking. One of the other big takeaways is they're going to start instituting a minimum annual fee, and it's sort of a way to encourage the members of their network to do fundraising. And so what they're proposing is to have like a $250 annual fee. And if we raise at least $2,500 a year, then the 10% that would go to School Factory would cover that fee, so that we wouldn't have to pay it. I think for this year they're just looking to do just a $180 fee, just to start out. Kind of related to the fundraising effort, they're coming out with something called Flip Cause, which is like a kind of like a PayPal button, but it can be used for like crowdfunding, but it has like lower fees than some of the other crowdfunding platforms. So kind of some of the action items kind of coming out of that meeting is for us to kind of get Diana a list of updated contacts.
Right.
And then also for us during this board meeting here, for us to kind of talk about what we want to do. If we want to plan to try to go get a 501c3, or do we want to stay long term in the School Factory network? And then just the follow up with Diana to let her know what our decision is. And Diana's already, I believe, sent some correspondence asking for some additional information as well, outside of what was discussed in the meeting. And she's supposed to be getting back to us once she has more information on the on that new Flip Cause button for fundraising.
Yeah, the flip clause is more like a GoFundMe or Kickstarter.
Yeah.
That they're trying to set up. The one thing that I need to do with the contacts right now, because the mail forwarding is not working at the moment. Does anybody have a problem with me giving her your personal Gmail account?
I'm fine with that. I think I fixed the mail forwarding.
I'll have to check because
He fixed it. He said he fixed it last Sunday.
I'll check because I had problems last week, and even when I logged manually into the account, it said my inbox was empty, which was weird because I usually in the past have been able to go and log into the Treasure account and be able to get to the email directly, but it was kind of strange.
Can I ask a question? Because this is, I think, pertinent to some of what you're discussing. Did they have any reason to believe that the current IRS environment that they might allow us to file and waive that fact that we had failed to file within the right time period? Or did they just say it's a crapshoot?
We mentioned that our previous attempt we didn't follow through with.
Well, because here's where I'm going. If they think that it can be done, and this whole time we've been operating under School Factory all this time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we haven't been operating outside of a 501c3 umbrella. I would suggest that you guys consider the position that 2 years ago, just under 2 years ago, the full membership at a rather large meeting the one that Joe got elected at, voted to file the 501c3. The full membership voted, and it was a significant majority. Joe then put the kibosh on it, screwed it up, waited too long, and when we hit that limit, then our wheels were spinning since then. So I would say the board was already directed by the membership to do it. You haven't because we reached that deadline, and if now new information from them is saying it might work, I would almost say that you're pretty much already been, because there's been no other vote. You're under a directive to do it. That's still standing. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which means you wouldn't need to take it to the membership to vote again, but you'd need to you'd have to maybe from that put together a quick committee to review it, look at what has to be filed, and look at that form. But does that make sense?
Let's make it so.
So you guys agree with me that there's new information now reopens that?
Yep.
That's right.
So I just a final comment on that. Then I'd suggest at the quarterly meeting that you guys report that there's new information and that changes it. But I would recommend, just starting and getting it ready so it's maybe, how long does it take to fill out the form? If there's a new form, because I filled out those forms. It was pages and pages and pages. If it's smaller and simpler, maybe school factories can help make sure you got the right answers there.
Mm-hmm.
The bylaws will stand up to the IRS at this point.
Right.
We fixed those.
So I can, when I give her the contact information, I can let her know that we wish to pursue 501c3. We're still going to bring it up in our quarterly meeting before executing it, but we need information from her to what she knows. Yeah, how do you get around it? What's the best course of action?
Speaking of quarterly meeting, do we have a date set?
So I'm getting some feedback, which is weird. But anyways, so I submitted a kind of a poll, a doodle poll. At the moment, I think it's just Stuart and Joe that responded so far.
Please don't do it on the 12th.
Yeah, I don't think I don't know why I don't think we would do it on the 12th.
When did we have it last time? Did we have it like on a Thursday or?
On a Saturday for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about the 19th?
I'm actually out of town. Pretty much, yeah. Weekends are kind of a crapshoot for me for the next few weeks. Probably anything within the Q3 range.
And that next one is a bad one because that's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And what's the date on the next one in December?
December 3rd.
Yeah. And then we got to turn around in January and do the next one.
Well, you do the January one like the end of January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you pick December 3rd, there'd be enough time to get all the paperwork ready and maybe even turned in for the 501c3. Because then you could report to them that the membership that it's been submitted.
All right, let's do December 3rd unless anybody objects.
I don't have any conflicts at the moment.
All right, sounds good.
And I will cancel my meeting in Columbia that's normally held that day.
Okay. What time do we want to do it at?
2 o'clock?
Okay. 2. So I think 2 to 4 is good.
Sounds good. Are we ready to move on to unfinished business?
When do you do committee reports
We just got through with those.
or things? Well, when are you going to be talking about the Maker Fair? Is that on your agenda?
I was going to bring it up under unfinished business.
Oh, okay.
So we got the Maker Fair this weekend. Finally got us on schedule. I think 1 to 5.
Both days?
Both days. I mean, we could do all day, both days, but I figured that was going to be like too much burden to ask of the members to try to man the table all day. They would let us. We could potentially do like the entire opening hours of the store, but I figured that might be a little much.
So that Saturday and Sunday?
That's right.
Yeah, I can help out on Sunday afternoon. This Saturday, I have to. I just found out today I got to work a funeral.
Since
So-
Sunday is my regular day to be there, I plan to be there Sunday as well. I'm going to try to be there Saturday, but I can't make any guarantees.
I can be there both days.
And I think we're going to try to have the CNC machine there. I'm going to try to bring my mini printer. And of course, we've got Stuart's got some printers in mind to take.
If you're going to bring your mini, I'll just bring the Creator Pro. We don't need 3 printers.
Okay. I'm going to try to get some firmware updates on it tonight and tomorrow night. Maybe try to run some prints on it to make sure everything's still good. Is that everything for Mini Maker Fair for right now?
We got materials and all that stuff printed out. I'm going to try to get us an early morning photo one of these mornings. I keep trying to get by here early and catch it with no cars, but I failed to do that because I can't catch something far enough back without catching all these stupid cars in it.
Right. I had started that flyer the other day. We got a new flyer to hand out. I think Stephen Schwingle wanted to contribute, and we just wanted to change a few things on it. But whenever we're ready to print it this week, somebody said that they could print some at work or something on a nice printer. I forget who said that.
Yeah, definitely ask around, because if we can get it color laser without having to go Kinko's, that'd be great.
Yeah.
If that's what we got to do, then if nobody replies, to tomorrow if you aren't able to figure out who offered that, then we'll just have to go and get them run on Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, I could possibly print them if the other one doesn't pan out.
Cool.
It would be on just on a regular paper. It wouldn't have like cardstock.
That's all right. As long as we get some color flyers, and we've got as long as we've got forms, especially the interest form. And then, is anybody going to be able to be at the lab in case people, after talking to us at the table, want to stop by the lab?
Well,
Tell them that Sunday's our open house day, and then make sure that somebody stays behind at the lab on Sunday.
Yeah, I can be at either place on Sunday. It's just Saturday I've got the funeral to do.
We just got to make sure we got somebody. Maybe we can talk Lyle, and I don't know. Somebody's got to be here. Somebody's got to be here Saturday too, because you know darn well people are going to look there and then want to go by.
Yep.
And if we tell them, oh, we're all over here, they're going to think we're smaller than we actually are. So we got to get somebody to babysit it Saturday and Sunday. Maybe we can get Schwengel
Yeah.
or Lyle, or get one of them to do one day and one the other.
Let's reach out on Slack and see who's willing to, who's going to have the time and who's willing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And who's going to the event? I'm going, and you're going, and who else?
I can go Sunday or man the lab Sunday, either way.
I don't know how much room we have. We don't need a lot of people
Yeah.
at the event, right?
Right. I think 2 people would be good. That way, one person can walk away from the table if they need to take a break.
Right.
Yeah. So as long as we have 3 volunteers on Saturday and 3 on Sunday, 1 to man the space and 2 to man the table at the Maker Faire, that I think that would cover it.
Yep. I can be one of the people at the Maker Faire or here either day. Probably want to be at the Maker Faire in case something happens to the printer.
Yep. All right. If y'all think that's if that covers it, I'd like to mention real quick that I've been trying to reach out to College of Charleston, who told me to reach out mid-October to get the spring event schedule, but they haven't gotten back to me, so they've been hard to get in touch with. And also on our AdWords campaign, the keywords with the highest number of clicks tend to be classes and 3D printer. So we definitely need to try to get some classes up on the board.
Yeah, the other guys are doing classes. They're doing one tonight. I thought you were going to teach a class, but it's not scheduled.
What class was that?
You were going to teach the next 3D printing 101 class, because I'm getting ready for week after next, the 3D printing class I got to teach at the library, and I'm also preparing a more advanced class, which is taking some time, and you were going to teach the beginner class.
All right.
But
Do you think people will sign up? If how many nights do you think I need to schedule for that?
What do you mean? It's like a 2-hour class, one night.
One night? All right.
You
Let's
teach
throw
them
it.
Concepts of printing and design, and haven't you been to one of my classes?
Not in a while. Do you think I should just
We might
put it
wanna
on?
check with Lyle will teach it. If
You may just put it on the calendar. Do you know what night Lyle would prefer?
I don't know. Maybe we can ask in the faculty lounge, which seems to be where all the people teaching lurk.
All right.
But we need to get it on the board. They're getting our members. I mean, I only just wanted a break from it this month simply because I had, with the election and everything else, and trying to get other classes ready, because it's a lot of, but also, let me say this, when I'm done with the library, I'll have something that we can then, with slides, maybe turn into a more formal beginner class. Okay? I'm actually doing slides and the whole freaking bit for the library.
I think if there's anything else. Does anybody else have anything?
No.
Any new business? All right. Should we go ahead and schedule the next board meeting? Tuesday the 15th.
See. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right. Rodney, how's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right, the 15th it is. If there's nothing else, we'll go ahead and adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're adjourned. Thank you.